Santa? What are you doing in the garbage?
Well, I'm kind of the dump stick, Thomas. You wanna know why? This is Claus and I are calling it quits. But no fear. You wanna know why? Because my good friends at Thomas Liquors sell some of the best wines in town, and it's my absolute favorite thing to do is share these wines come Christmas time with all my elves. So here we go. It's December, and this is your Cellar series description. This is Vincent Richard, and Vincent Richard, makes really, really lovely wines. The estate is also known as Pierre Richard. It's basically father-son type thing going on there. But they have been making wine since 1919, and they own about 9 hectares of vines, kind of throughout the Jura. It's 100% Chardonnay. Slow down a little. And they spent about 36 months on the yeast, kind of entourage. And those 3 years kind of build texture and kind of weight and complexity to this particular bottle of bubbles. I really, really, really love Jura kind of like bubbles. They're just pretty awesome values. Moving on to, Lady of the Sunshine. Lady of the Sunshine is a project by a woman named Gina Giuni, since 2017. And, the first thing that kind of catches my eye is like how really lovely this label is. They call the wine Goldie, and it's from the Stolo Vineyard. Stolo Vineyard is like farmed, I believe, by Raj Parr, a pretty smart guy. And it's along the San Luis Obispo coast, and it's 40% Sauvignon Blanc, 35% Gewürztraminer, and 25% Chardonnay. There's a little bit of skin contact with the Gewürz, so it kind of like gives a little bit more like kind of like spice and weight. But one thing that I really liked about this wine was, as soon as it was like kind of like coming up in temperature a little bit, the wine became like really, really complex and like aromatic and kind of wild. It's aged and it goes through malolactic fermentation in neutral oak barrels, and you can just tell there's like a little bit kind of more going on with this wine. The Sauvignon Blanc kind of like really hits the palate with like freshness and acidity, but the Chardonnay and the Gewürztraminer like start to really like talk and kind of spice up this wine as it warms up, which is really nice. Going, all the way to the Northern Rhone, this is Jean-Louis Chave, and Jean-Louis makes exceptional wines. Like arguably the most important winemaker in the Rhone River Valley, and I think that you can make a fair argument for that. And this comes from his personal garden vineyard called Clos Florentine, which is right in the town of Mauve, and I've had the pleasure of visiting there. And I really, really liked my time with Jean-Louis, walking around his gardens, talking about wine. Arguably, like one of Santa's best memories of his wine drinking experience. Yes, so barrel aged as well, a little really like weighty and spicy. Like this is a great winter white, kind of plenty of like concentration for all of those kind of like by the fire, moments in life. This is Salem Wine Company's Willamette Valley Pinot Noir from the Eola Amity Hills. And the Eola Amity Hills are really special in the Willamette Valley because they have, volcanic soils that bring, kind of just a lot of dimension to the Pinot Noir there. It's from the Seven Springs Vineyard, and it's not all Pinot Noir. There's a little bit of Gamay, which is kind of fun because all the cool kids are drinking Gamay these days. And, my little young elves up at the North Pole are thinking like, oh, Gamay's so great, Gamay's so great. And Santa's like, I don't know, boys. Pinot Noir is really the king for me. And you don't want to know what? We have a lighthearted discussion about who's better, but we know I'm right because I'm the boss. Okay, moving on. This is Chateau Hero and their Sommer Champagny wine called Touffe. And Touffe is this lovely like clay, limestone, like white yellowish soil that is like the secret ingredient in all of the great Cabernet Francs of the Loire River Valley. And you want to know what? It's not only in Chinon, like that like more prestigious appellation, like 15 miles to the east of where this is grown. They also have a little bit of it in Sommer Champagny. So the wine does have a little more kind of texture and kind of like sappiness to it, which I really like sitting by the fire up in the North Pole. But it also has this really kind of lovely mineral quality to it. So it's like the best of both worlds, if you know what I mean. Okay. I'm going to finish up here talking about Trois Celliers. Trois Celliers is a producer in Châteauneuf-du-Pape, and they make really, really high-quality wines that are really great values. One disappointing thing about buying wines at the North Pole is everything has become so expensive. And you want to know what? I understand certain great producers being able to raise their prices because of supply and demand and all this, but at the end of the day, I want to try a great example from the great terroirs of France and still, kind of be able to pay my heating bill up at the North Pole. So this is a Chateauneuf Pop in a classic style, quite textured and spicy, warming, and just kind of a lovely, lovely winter red wine. So this is primarily Grenache with a little bit of Cellar and a few other great varieties kind of blended in, barrel aged, and kind of just, you can taste that southern Rhone kind of nod to the Mediterranean, which, you want to know what, when all of this is over and done with, that's where I'm headed. I'm going straight to the Mediterranean. Last year I went to the Caribbean after everything was done, but I'm going to the Mediterranean this year. I'm going to drink some rosé, my friends in France and Italy, and I hope that whatever you do after all of this is done, that you enjoy yourself and you drink great wines with your friends and family. Merry Christmas to you all, and enjoy this holiday season in spirit.